Hello and welcome to the Columbia Daily Tribune's Courtside View basketball webcast. This is Tribune sports editor Joe Waljasper along with Tribune basketball beat writer Steve Walentick. Steve, Missouri heading off to the battle for Atlantis in the Bahamas. They're 3-0. They played three lower level opponents and they've blown them all out, although they've started slowly a few times. But now they'll be facing much better competition, possibly the number 2 team in the nation in Louisville if they win on Thursday. Just your thoughts on whether you think they've got themselves sorted out enough to where they can win this tournament.
It's tough to see them winning 3 games against this field because you're talking about Louisville, but then waiting for them on Friday. But then you also potentially would have number 5 Duke, who looked pretty impressive beating Kentucky last week, or possibly Memphis or VCU, who's the Atlantic 10 favorite. I mean, it's a loaded field. Minnesota has got everybody back from a team that went to the NIT championship game last year, and is just outside the top 25 right now. There's a lot of good teams that are going to be in this field, and the common denominator with all of them is that they have a lot of starters returning, and Missouri obviously does not, with Phil Pressey being the only one. Like you said, I think that there were signs of things starting to come together in the first 3 games, but the competition is going to be a lot more challenging, and I think we're not. I think it's a lot to ask Missouri to go and win 3 games down there.
It seems like maybe it's just compared to last year when their offense was kind of just a thing of beauty to watch sometimes. It seems like maybe they're grinding gears a little bit more offensively this year. I don't know if maybe that's because they don't really have the 2 proven outside shooters on the perimeter that kind of free things up. But it seems like a lot of the points they're getting, it's sort of they're overpowering smaller guys. I don't know if you feel like that will continue to work, though, now that you're facing high major competition.
Yeah, and you talk about the guys that they don't have on the perimeter with Denman and English. They also haven't been as efficient in scoring inside. They've done a good job rebounding, gotten on the offensive glass, and gotten second chance points. But if you look at Alex Oriaki's field goal percentage, it's not very good. It's under 50% for a guy who's shooting from 3 feet away most of the time.
He's kind of the exact opposite of Ricardo Ratliff.
Yeah.
He shoots about 40% less.
But
can't catch it, but he does get the line all the time, and he does rebound, which is a lot more than what Ricardo did.
And he's been effective to this point. I mean, he's had 3 straight games of double-digit rebounds, two straight double-doubles, and he's shooting free throws really well. So he's taking advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, he's good. He's just different.
But you don't have the same sort of flow that you have when you had Ricardo running the pick and roll with Phil Pressey. Ernest Ross has actually shot the 3 really well, really shot period really well the last 2 games. But he's one guy on the wing that's producing, and I don't think they've established another one yet. Lawrence Bowers has been an effective weapon for sure. He's averaging over 15 points a game, and he's also shooting it really well. But I don't think that they I don't really think they have roles defined the same way that they did last season, and I think it's going to continue to take time, and you're still waiting for one of their best players to find out if and when he's going to play.
How do you think that's affected them? Because he's a guy that, if he would have been there, he's probably, you would call him maybe the 2nd best player on the team. I think that would be fair.
2nd or 3rd, yeah.
Take him out of the mix. How do you think that has affected them? Would this all be looking a lot more smooth if he were in there?
Well, I don't think you see the slow starts that we saw the first 2 games with Mike Dixon there, because he's a guy who can go get his own shot, and he can heat up in a hurry, and he can string points together, and he showed that last year. He averaged 13.5 points a game and had some big games, went for 30 at least once, and had, I believe, 27 in a win at Texas. And he's one of the better perimeter shooters. He's not a dead-eye shooter the way that you would think Denman or English was last year, but can get on a hot streak. And he's also one of the few guys they have, I think, that can really go create his own shot. I don't think you see that from very many other guys at this point. I think Phil Pressey's having to do a lot of playmaking, and obviously he's good at that, but I don't think they have other guys who you really are afraid to take a guy one-on-one.
Okay, well, tune in next week when a tanned Steve Walentick will discuss how Missouri fared in the Bahamas, and we'll look forward to more exciting December basketball at Mizzou Arena.